Hi Fad Campers, it's Grace here and I have some new stand updates I'd love to tell you about. If you're based in the UK, I will be doing some dates in July and August and I'd love to see some of you there. I'll be in Leeds doing a work in progress with Amy Annette on July 4th in the Hyde Park Book Club. I'll be in Brighton on July 6th with Alison Spittle in the Comedia Comedy Club, and I'm going to be doing my own work in progress show in Glasgow on July 12th at Good Egg Comedy. Also then, I will be at the Edinburgh Fringe, of course, for the entirety of August, from July 30th to August 24th. I'll be at the Assembly George's Square, the Crate, 10 to 3 every day. Would love if you could tell anyone you know who's going to be at the Edinburgh Fringe to come see my show. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network.
Hello, Fad Camp listeners. It's Grace here. Let's be honest, your favourite Fad Camp presenter. We won't tell Conor. As you might know, I am a stand-up comedian and I'm currently working on a new show. I'll be performing all over the UK over the next few months, whipping my new show, Did You Hear We're All Going to Die, into shape. I would love to see some of you there. It's going to be great crack. So I'll be at the Leicester Comedy Festival on February 6th. In London, I'll be at the Top Secret Comedy Club March 6th. The Glasgow, I'll be at the Glasgow International Comedy Festival March 15th. And I'll be at the London Irish Centre with Alison Spittle on March 27th. That's going to be a great gig. There'll be even more shows announced for further months. All of the details and tickets are in the link on my Instagram bio, which is Grace Mulvey Comedy. So just go to my Instagram account, Grace Mulvey Comedy, click on the link and you'll get all the details. Thanks.
What's the best way to reduce? Eat plenty or starve yourself?
30 pounds in just 18 weeks. Jenny Craig totally worked.
I love to eat, but overeating made it impossible to lose weight.
My body wants bread, and I'm gonna give my body what it wants.
Oh my God.
So I lost
Naturally.
Medical studies prove that overeating is the number one reason for weight gain. If you need to lose weight, use safe and natural ways away and bring your weight down without the use of unsafe.
Welcome to Fad Camp, a podcast that throws a comedy eye over our societal obsession of diets. Now, a little disclaimer, we are not health experts, but we are fad diet connoisseurs. I'm your host, comedian Grace Mulvey.
And I'm your co-host, Conor Dowling.
Welcome to Fad Camp.
Hello and welcome to Fad Camp. Conor, how are you getting on?
I'm good, Grace. I'm excited to be here today.
Well, Conor, you might be excited now, but you're in for something awful.
Excellent. Excellent.
Have you ever heard of a show called Secret Eaters, Conor?
Hell to the yes. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Did you eat that show up when you were younger? This is a show, by the way, that came out in 2012.
2012. Okay. Yeah, I think this is probably a show that I was probably not at home watching a lot of reality TV at this point. I was
were you just a cool kid?
I was like in college, like partying and doing all that cool stuff. So I think this is a show that I probably just like saw clips of here and there.
Right.
Maybe saw like one full episode at one time, but it's not something that like was on all the time, you know?
Right. Well, I was pretty obsessed with this show because I feel like 2012, what you're talking like 12 years ago. So I was like, what? Well, I'm not giving away my age, but you know, in my early 20s, like yourself, Conor.
Yes.
And I was mad into this show.
Love
obsessed with it. It was real. Again, I think like if you're having a sick day or if it was like a Saturday, you'd be watching loads of episodes, judging fat people.
You know what I probably saw more than this show, which I feel like is in the same genre, is My Strange Addiction.
I never. What?
Do you never
heard that show.
Oh, that one was an odd one where like someone would have like just an addiction to some unusual food that they'll only eat this food or something like that. And it's in a similar kind of category because it's exploitative. It's not like, oh, we're trying to help these people. It's very much we're like judging and kind of laughing at these people.
Well, that's definitely the tone of Secret Eaters.
I'm here for it.
What I would say about Secret Eaters that kind of, I think, maybe changed it a bit from the other shows at the time, which were like these reality TV shows that were like all about helping fat people. But like this one feels to me more weird because it's like they're trying to pretend that they care.
Okay.
And not that they don't care, not that I'm accusing everyone of being awful on the thing, but it's actually, to me, it comes out meaner. You know what I mean? Because when you're almost being like, I'm your friend, but at the same time, then the voiceover is quite snarky. That to me is me. Like, if anything, that's Mean Girls. Regina George. If Regina George did a reality TV show, this would be it.
What I do remember is that there is like kind of like a surveillance aspect of it. And that to me says, we're trying to expose your secret behaviors that you kind of don't want anyone to see. And like,
well, it makes it the fat people are liars.
Right. Okay.
Like you're lying.
Yeah.
Well, listen, before we get into it, what is secretive eating, as the term is known?
Okay. Wouldn't know a thing about it.
All my eating's in public, okay? Nothing in my closet.
Everyone knows what I eat at all times.
As I like it. So, secretive eating is categorised by eating furtively and concealing the act and evidence of eating. Weirdly, I would think, is amongst the youth, secretive eating is quite common and associated with eating disorder psychology.
Sure.
Yet secretive eating amongst adults, including adults with eating disorders, is relatively unexplored. Now, I'm getting all my information, by the way, for the most part from kind of reports that have been done on this from the National Library of Medicine. So they go into...
Straight to the library on your way to the podcast.
Well, this is it, all right? I don't mess about. So kind of what they are saying is that amongst younger people, particularly kind of younger people who are obese or overweight, secretive eating is much more common, which I think actually... When I read that, I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because as a teenager, I did most of my eating in secret because I was so ashamed of ever being seen eating in public.
And your food is being more policed by the adults in your life and judged. Whereas when you're an adult, there's still judgment and policing, but you're kind of able to, like have a bit more.
Yeah, you run the prison.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Hey, easier.
You're the prisoner and the prison guard and the lunch lady.
There's no escape. Oh my God, there's no escape. This is like a fat Shawshank Redemption. I hate this. 54% of patients reported secretive eating distinct from objective binge eating episodes. A significantly greater proportion of women than men endorsed secret eating. And this is across, by the way, race, age and education. Secretive eating is a problematic pattern of eating in which again, individuals conceal the act of eating and they eat quite, I think, they say furtively here. It's quite like almost panicked eating, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I know.
It has received little scholarly attention despite recognition by family members and clinicians that it is problematic. Having a secretive nature associated with eating is one of 5 possible behavioural indicators of loss of control in the diagnostic criteria for binge eating disorder. So, when I was looking up secretive eating, there's kind of very little done on secretive eating itself. However, when in association with binge eating disorder, it was like, oh yeah, it's been heavily kind of researched. So what is binge eating disorder? Binge eating disorder involves regularly eating a lot of food over a short period of time until you're uncomfortably full. It's a serious mental health condition where people eat without feeling like they're in control of what they're doing. Binges are sometimes planned in advance but can be spontaneous. They're usually done alone and may include special binge foods. You may feel guilty or ashamed after binge eating. Men and women of any age can have binge eating disorder, and it often starts when people are in their 20s or older. Now, that's actually from the NHS website, which is the National Health Service in the UK. Signs of binge eating disorder: eating when not hungry, eating very fast during a binge, eating alone or secretly, feeling depressed, guilty or ashamed or disgusted after binge eating. So, like, the reason I'm bringing up all of this is to give a bit of context to this show.
Yeah.
To be calling it Secret Eaters.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go into it a bit more. But I just want to say, basically, binge eating disorder can have this real feel of shame to it. And this is actually a quote from the American Psychiatric Association: eating alone because of feeling embarrassed about how much one is eating. So binge eating is related to secretive eating, but actually can be quite distinctive. It's not secret eating is not experienced by all people who have binge eating disorder. Moreover, eating episodes that are secretive even may not be because they're binges. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It can be separate, but it also is quite linked.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, amongst young people, it's kind of more common. Particularly young people who are overweight and obese. The rates are something between 18.1% and 27.2% between children. And 34% in adolescents.
And 100% in me.
But yeah, I mean, listen, I just wanted to go a bit into that. One of the reasons, by the way, I just want to say this, and I thought that was really interesting. In one study of families with food insecurities, parents reported that their children ate in secret and also hid or hoarded food. Parents also disclosed that they themselves engaged in secret eating. In a 2-year prospective study of dieters considered at risk for developing an eating disorder, secretive eating was found to be one signal of future eating disorder, kind of like diagnosis, if you know what I mean. So again, secretive eating doesn't have a lot of study done, but it is quite a significant indicator of a possible eating disorder in the future or binge eating disorder. The food insecurity one I thought was very interesting, that people who, again, might know when the next meal is coming, or kids in a house where they don't have a lot of money, or for some reason have food insecurity, are more likely to hide food and eat in secret. Now, I want to tell another story that I think is really interesting, because a friend of mine, and she's a nurse, okay, one time confessed that for about 3 weeks after every shift, she would go to McDonald's. But she would lie to her husband and say that she was just working later. But she'd just go to McDonald's and eat a whole McDonald's in her car. And then one day she bumped into her husband's best friend who happened to be in that McDonald's. And she literally was like she was having an affair. Said, please don't tell him
Oh my God.
that you saw me here.
Yeah.
And what's funny about it is we've all laughed about it since.
Yeah.
And like, you know, she was like, I was just like, literally, I just had this pattern going on. And I was like, in my head, I was like, was it shame or anything? I think it was just stress. Like, it was like, it's like this thing, you finish a shift.
Yeah.
Being a nurse is quite an intense job, I think we can all agree. And she just wanted to go to McDonald's and eat in her car and no one to see her.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting. Because this is a person who, by the way, doesn't really show any other signifiers of like eating disorders. But it kind of, to me, went into which by the way has no evidence behind it. But I do think that people who are in caring positions, who are carers, nurses, any kind of high stress situation where you're giving all of your energy to care for other people, I think binge eating or secret eating, food can be a comfort.
Absolutely.
Because these people can't really be drinkers.
Yeah.
They can't really be partiers in the same way. Like, you can't leave a shift, then go drink a load of alcohol and then show up to the hospital next day. You can, but like, really, that's probably not going to be your outlet. Drugs aren't going to be your outlet. Chances are food is going to be your outlet.
Absolutely.
You know?
No, I totally recognize that and relate to that. And like, I mean, I think that it becomes tricky because, you know, if someone is using drugs or alcohol or sex or something like that to self-soothe or comfort or to escape, it's very easy to kind of point to that and go, hey, that could be a damaging behavior.
Yeah.
But if you're eating food, it's like, well, you have to eat food every day. It's recommended to do it 3 times a day, etc. So it's like, you could just say, oh, this is just me getting a quick dinner after a busy day at work.
Yeah.
You know, so like, not to say that it's such a negative behavior or like it's equal to like any other kind of like damaging behaviors that are self-destructive behaviors people engage in.
Yeah.
But it becomes just kind of hard to untangle it and go like, at what point is it like a secret or a binge or just having a quick bite to eat or having a treat?
Yeah,
you know?
and I think as well, like, for me, it's taking shame out of it. Because if you call something secret, like, as in like my mate going to McDonald's, she felt shame.
Oh, absolutely.
But at the same time, she was just like, I think as well, like, and I think anyone who's maybe a parent to young children might be listening to this and feel the same. Sometimes you just want a bit of space. Sometimes you've just been around people all the time and you want to eat in peace and you want to eat something that you really enjoy. You don't want to talk to anyone. You don't want anyone saying, there's nothing wrong with that. As well, like, that's also a thing that a lot of parents do. A lot of people, they just almost corner themselves away and they just don't want to be seen. And I think as well, for me, when I was a teenager, definitely because I had suffered from bulimia and binge eating for sure, there was a shame to my eating that I was getting kept away. But also, in a way, there was sort of a relief that I didn't have to eat in front of people and wonder if they were judging me.
Absolutely.
Because my weight was talked about all the time. So what you're eating is talked about, and the side eyes and the, you know, and I remember that as a kid, like literally people looking at me and commenting on what I was eating.
Yeah.
So I'm like, God, it's just a relief that no one has to fucking look at you. That you're just like able to do it in secret.
Absolutely. I also think McDonald's is an interesting one too, because I do think that there are kind of like, and you see this as well in like binge eating and eating disorder kind of stuff. It's like there can be links to kind of childhood like comforts.
Oh, for sure.
McDonald's is a big one. You know,
everyone in their childhood has gone there.
Gone
you
there
know
for a happy meal.
Yeah.
You know, you go there for a party. You might go there after like a big day out or
and
something like that.
let's be honest, it's cheap.
It's cheap. It's tasty. It gives you all of the.
By the way, this is not an ad for
I mean, sponsors.
Imagine we got sponsors.
Red and yellow microphones.
No, I just want to say, like, because, like, you know, like, I'm not, like, I don't eat in McDonald's. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying that, like.
I very much do.
Well, I definitely don't.
I don't agree with it, but I eat it, okay?
No, but like what I'm saying is like it's that thing is, listen, it's part of the culture and it is part of the culture when you're growing up. Like, yeah.
And also, you know, I remember reading ages ago about like binge eating. People, like adults particularly, there's going to be all sorts of examples, but typically people tend to binge things that were kind of off limits in childhood, or things that remind them of their childhood.
Yeah.
And one of the things that people tend to binge a lot are like soft cake type things, because those are the things that like don't have too much cake, don't have more cake, and you'd be sneaking a little slice, an extra slice of birthday cake or whatever. But now you're an adult, you can buy the whole cake and just eat it for breakfast. You know what I mean?
What? It is actually my dream. I heard about a friend of mine told me this about their dad, that one time they were in a restaurant and they got a birthday cake for their dad because it was his birthday, and he refused to share any of it, and he ate the whole cake sitting there at the table. And I was like, that is my dream. I want to do that someday because this is my cake.
That is a baller move.
That is a baller move. Watching everyone around you stare at you while you slowly eat
What are
this
you
cake.
guys having?
But no, I totally agree, and there is something about that childhood thing of not like, listen, for Christmas, we just came through Christmas. My big thing at Christmas, I buy Cocoa Pops.
Nice.
Because I was never allowed Cocoa Pops when I was growing up. My mum never allowed that for breakfast. So at Christmas time, I have Cocoa Pops, baby girl.
Breakfast, lunch and dinner.
I didn't even know Christmas dinner. I just had a bowl of Cocoa Pops.
Absolutely. Pass the gravy. Oh, you mean Cocoa Pop milk? Yeah.
She goes loco for Cocoa Pops. Okay? Anyway, listen. So I just wanted to cover a bit of what secretive eating actually means, how little there is we know about it, and I think actually it's probably a bit more prevalent than we like to admit, but how secret eating can be something that can be linked to shame. Doesn't have to be linked to shame, because some people just like to do it because they might have a bit of privacy, they don't like to be seen eating. It is a wide range of stuff, but it is quite linked to binge eating disorder, and can be, it's not that it will be, but can be an indicator of future eating disorder issues, and is seen quite a lot in young people. So I just wanted to cover that before we go into the show, Secret Eaters, and let's see how they deal with this very delicate topic. Connor's face, not well, I imagine. Okay, so Secret Eaters was a British documentary television series about overeating. It was broadcast on Channel 4 in 2012 and presented by Anna Richardson. If you have ever seen the show Naked Attraction, she's also on that
Another
show.
fantastic celebration of the human body.
We were just saying actually beforehand, I was like, I wonder how many fat people have ever been shown on Secret
I'm sure
Naked
that's
Attraction.
a whole episode in itself.
Listen. So there were...
fair play to anyone who would go on that show, but anyway,
I know, yeah.
digress.
Listen, absolutely fair play to anyone. So there were about 22 episodes spanning 3 series, and in each episode, how it goes is that Anna Richardson, the presenter, meets a group of people, usually a couple, friends, family, who are, quote unquote, overweight. They are then filmed in their homes for a week and followed around by private investigators, Cameron Golet and Duncan Mee, who monitor their every move and record everything they eat. At the end of the week, they are confronted by the presenter about what they ate, shown footage of them eating.
I have seen this, yeah.
And told how many calories they have eaten throughout the week. Then they are also given dietary advice by expert Lynn Garton, who is a dietitian. Okay, so here we go. Right, so basically, I just wanted to show you, this is how they do the setup. This episode, we're going to be following Kate and Duncan. They're basically, I think like Kate, her sister Duncan is like married to. So they're just friends, but they're following their setup. So I'm going to show you how this whole show starts.
Britain has a big problem. Only the Americans are getting fatter than we are, faster than we are.
You're 18 stone 9.
God.
Just under 19 stone.
Wow.
Though obsessed with our waistlines, for some, huge weight gain is a complete mystery.
I don't think I eat enough to warrant this size.
I've got friends who eat the same as me and they're like matchsticks.
I don't think it's fair that I am the weight I am for what I eat.
It just feels like such a format, doesn't it? Or like a formula of like talking about like, you know, how people are getting fatter at an alarming rate, but not as much as in America where they're getting even fatter.
Yeah, I know,
like,
yeah. What, by the way, a dig at America? Like, I know, well, we do that to any other country. You know what I mean? Like, any other country, like, basically, I was like, America's just there, like, being like, oh, we were minding our own business. And then you're like, look at you fat fucks. And you're like, okay. So, yeah. So what was the intro to the show? If you were to describe it, what did you see there?
Oh, it was like, reality TV show, shots of people in Britain eating food and like real like intense like Dragon's Den, Shark Tank kind of music, like.
And if you notice the accents, what accents would you be describing there? Any posh accents in there?
Oh, I don't really see class.
Fuck off, Conor. You dickhead. What about throwing me under the bus? Like, like that little drive-by for America there and now a drive-by for me.
What do you want me to say?
Well, what I noticed anyway, particularly now living in England, I noticed a lot of northern accents. Like it's a big thing in the divide between the south and the north in the UK. And I would notice that actually quite a lot of working class people shown in this. Just saying.
A lot of fat working class people.
What I'm saying is, who gets exploited here is what I'm trying to throw at you. You're such a prick. Okay, right, here's the next clip. Will I even go on? Okay, so what they're doing here then, okay, and I just want to say as the show goes on, I just want to, I think a bit of critical media attention needs to be brought to this, a bit of critical thinking about how these people are being set up and what's going to happen later. Do you know what I mean? And
yes.
For you as well, because we do have a bit of experience in the media, how do you see some of the setups happening? And I just want to discuss that first.
One thing I will say as well about the intro was they were painting people being like, I don't know why I'm so fat. I seem to eat the same amount as everyone else. And I imagine it's going to be like, think again, fatty. We followed you for a week.
And also very close-up shots again of people eating.
Oh, God,
which, by the way, if you did that to anyone, when they're holding a spoon, talk to anyone in the public eye, when you see them eat, do you ever see them eat? No. Yeah. Even they'll kind of maybe nibble at something, but no one's putting spoonfuls in. You know why? Because no one looks good when they do it.
No one does.
Right. But here is how they introduce one of the participants, Kate.
26-year-old Kate is perplexed by her ever-widening waistline.
A lot of people would assume that we must fry everything in lard and that we're constantly eating takeaways, fish and chips. But really, it's a different story. We never use butter. We rarely have a fry up. We try not to have takeaways, eat out, that kind of thing.
Kate works in the weight loss industry, which adds to her frustration.
With it being a diet product company, you would think that I wouldn't be as big as I am, because you would look at me and think, well, why are you so big if you've got all these products on tap?
So that's how they introduce Kate, right?
Oh, God.
So again,
What's her diet company? Is it like Herbalife or some shit?
But that's also my thing. I'm like, oh, you mean a diet company where most people fail on it? You know what I mean? And she's like, oh, and I work there.
Oh, again, that's so sad. It's just to paint that picture, that's really ugh.
I know. And I think this next clip, I think really shows sometimes if you're looking at, say, how an interview might be set up, let's listen to how the presenter sums up the conversation she has with Daryl, the other participant.
Because if you wanted to make a thought-provoking, impactful documentary about people who struggle with binge eating, you could use a lot of the same footage and put a different voiceover on it.
For sure.
And totally reframe
her whole
what
thing
you're
of
seeing.
her widening waistline. And I'm like, by the way, this presenter, and I will say it, because I actually really like Anna Richardson as a presenter and a public figure, but I have a real issue with how she is in person with them. And then the widening waist. It only takes 5 minutes for him to go back and get a yogurt. And when you're like, mate, again, this isn't actually helping anyone.
Yeah.
This is making someone look more foolish.
Absolutely.
Do you know? And you've met them in person. I find that crazy.
It's a bit of a betrayal.
Yeah, I know. And at least Gillian McKeith is in your face. She's like, I want to see your poos. And you're like, oh my God.
Or our pal Steve Fatnosis, I think. They don't know. They don't know that he's down on the promenade going, I'm here to see some fatty bumbatties. They don't know that. And then they see after they're
some gigantic gorillas. But at the same time,
he was sound. He had a cup of tea in our house.
It must be what it takes to do that. I think actually, I'm more looking at that and going it's mad to me that in person you can be so lovely to someone and then be like, you see these bumbling idiots. Anyway, not that she says exactly that, but it's just the tone. Okay, right. So here is Anna talking to Daryl, I think his name is, the other contestant.
So what kind of food do you like then?
I'll always look for a healthier option if I can. I like jacket potatoes. I love my fruit and veg.
Yeah. So you love your veg.
Yeah.
You like your jacket potatoes. You will go for the healthy option.
Yeah.
It seems something's wrong.
I've been to the doctors and that, and they said maybe my metabolism's quite slow.
Okay.
I mean, other people, they can eat loads and sort of not put anything on.
Yeah.
So I think I'm one of the unlucky ones.
Okay, so bad genes, slow metabolism, not fair.
So even the way she said that, bad genes, slow metabolism, not fair. It's the way of summing up something to be like, do you think we might show this later?
Like, it's just, you know, they're setting these poor people up to fail, considering the show. They're like, really? Bad genes? Slow metabolism? Are you sure that's all?
Yeah.
Because now's your chance to come clean.
Yeah.
You know?
I do know, it's, and as well to me, it's very like, whenever you look at an edit of something, I'm like, you know, the people who make these shows know what they're making.
Oh, yeah.
And so the edits are very specific and well chosen and thought out. So to me, it was just her sitting there and going like, so bad genes, this.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what we're taking from this.
Like, that was probably like an hour conversation where he said, oh, well, you know, I do tend to like have a takeaway every other day or whatever. And then they cut all that out. And then
Oh,
later
for
they're
sure.
Like, guess what we discovered, you lying bastard.
You son of a bitch. And okay, so actually funny that you bring this up, right? So after they weigh them in their living room, of course being like, you know, look at how awful you are. Here is a very interesting thing I found about when they do the food diary. Now, one thing I want to say about food diaries, and I was actually watching a YouTube video of a dietitian who was kind of reacting to some of these videos. She was like, food diaries are not an exact science. So a lot of these shows love an old food diary. But food diaries, like, as you can imagine, like someone might say to you, oh, this is kind of an average day for me. But we all know that days change. Things happen, lives happen. Like, look, if you were to follow me for the last few weeks over Christmas, you'd be like, this woman.
Yeah, that's a lot of Cocoa Pops.
Is swimming in Cocoa Pops. She hasn't seen an unbuttered vegetable in weeks. But if you were to follow me on a normal, boring January day, how different is my food diary? And like, again, it's this thing of like, food diaries are not exact science. Neither is calorie like measuring.
Oh, yeah.
And I would say that they make it, like they keep going, you're eating around this. That's because they're guessing.
Yeah.
Like they're
And
absolutely guessing.
We've all been on diets where they tell you, oh, have this many calories a day and you'll lose weight. And you do that. And no 2 days are the same in terms of your weight loss. Like, you couldn't eat the exact same thing every day for a week, and your weight will still go up and down. And
Which, as anyone knows who's ever gone and weighed themselves, and you're like, but I stuck to the plan rigidly this week. And then another week you could be eating like, actually, I kind of was a bit loosey-goosey, lost 5 pounds.
Lost
like,
more.
You
Exactly.
don't know why.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is the food diary, and I want you to, I'm going to expand the video for you to see. I want you to hear the voiceover of what she's saying they eat to what is coming up on the screen, particularly with Daryl.
Kate recorded eating about 2,000 calories a day and said she eats fresh fruit and vegetables. In Daryl's diary, he listed eating healthier options, salads and fruit juices, and said he takes in around 2,000 calories a day too.
So what came up on the screen? What came up on the screen in comparison to what she said? One thing I noticed straight away, because I had to rewatch it twice because I do a lot of
there was a lot
research.
going on. There was like a lot of gypsy jazz music playing in the background as well.
But she goes, he says he eats this. As in, like, he says he eats some salads and things. But actually in his food diary, he does say chocolate bar for breakfast.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually quite, like,
true,
now he does say in it, I eat some salad, but it's not like he's lying.
Yeah, good
But
point.
what's interesting for both of them, like, she says she eats this, but that doesn't mean that she says that's all she eats.
Great point. Yeah, because it was there. Basically, what I caught from was that she was just listing off a couple of like healthy things, but actually there was a whole list of like 9 a.m. this, 10 a.m. that. No, but it was like
and
a
then
lot
the
of
voiceover
information.
is she says she eats this.
I picked that up.
And then and then with Daryl, they're like, he says he eats, you know, healthier options like salad. But in the food diary, he just say chocolate bar for breakfast. So I'm like, yeah, but he also says he eats a chocolate bar for breakfast. So again, the voiceover is ensuring that we hear, and like that food diary goes up very quickly.
Oh, totally, yeah.
It was only on the second watch that I was like, oh wait, actually, no, he does say this. So
I
again,
did notice
preparing them.
I did notice he had a Union Jack cushion in his living room. So that kind of distracted me a little bit.
As an Irish person, that really distracted me.
That triggered me.
So, by the way, as part of this, I don't see country. Conor, why are you trying to start in the Brits? Not for me, babes. Love you, British people. So, as part of the show, by the way, and I'm not even going to show you this part, but not because they need to bulk this show. It's 45 minutes without ads.
Oh, wow.
Because they need to bulk this out, because there's actually very little in this, they start doing other things where they're like, and now we're going to do like a society watch where we're going to go out into the public and they have like this basically diet survey, a woman with a clipboard, and in front of the clipboard, she's just doing diet surveys of like, have you ever been on a diet, blah, blah. And then on a table, she has apples and cupcakes. And it's like, after she asked them all the questions, would you like a snack?
Oh my God.
And the whole thing is like, oh, he says he watches what he eats, but then he picked a cupcake. I'm sorry. If someone's out in the and they're on a high street as well. Yeah. If someone's out in a high street and they're like, oh, by the way, if you fill out this questionnaire, would you like a cupcake or an apple? An apple? That's been sitting out there. No, I'm having a cupcake. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's so stupid. Like, you think you're catching people, and then and by the way, at the end, they were like, they did a whole thing where they were like, so at the end of the survey, guess how many people ate the cupcakes? So 21 people picked a cupcake, 7 people picked an apple, and 22 people didn't pick anything. So I was like, you haven't even proven a point here.
Yeah, exactly.
Your point is that actually some people were like, yeah, I actually would like a cupcake. Yeah. Other people were like, nah, I'm grand. And some people were like, yeah, I would love an apple.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What is the point of the show?
Oh my God.
Anyway, they also do a whole thing with a science section where they have this like scientist who does, remember the colour of plates was like such a big thing in the early 90s.
I remember the size of plates was a thing, but
I remember colour being a thing as well.
Right.
Whereas like, yeah, pick a small plate because it'll make you eat less. And pick the colour. It's a big, if you pick blue, it like turns you off eating or some shite. Anyway, because apparently like the yellow and red of McDonald's makes you eat more. But if you pick a blue plate, just anyway, in this science thing, what they do is they make a red kind of pasta with like red sauce, and they pick red plates and white plates, and then they get students to come in, and the students who have white plates eat more, and the students who have red plates, eat because more. It's the same colour as the food, they pile more on. Well, put the
the pasta, the
pasta's red.
Pasta.
Well, if you pick a white plate, you pick less. My whole thing was like, and as well, when the students are going up and putting
they're students though.
Yeah. Exactly. And they're like, God, they're really piling up. They are broke students.
I remember being a student, anytime I went to an event where there was like finger food, I was like, dinner, baby.
Yeah,
like,
because you don't have any food. Again, I'm like, this is so stupid. And the difference between the white plates and the red plates wasn't that much.
And also, like, you know, I get you're painting the whole picture, but like if you're watching an episode, we still haven't really gotten to much of the secret eating of it all. Like, I mean,
well, here, like, if you want to see some secret eating,
where's the
baby?
promise of the premise? You know what I'm saying?
God, by the way, Conor, like your issue with the show is like I'm not seeing enough. I'm not seeing enough like secret eating.
I want to see him chow down.
So after they've been followed for about
chow down.
After they've been followed for 5 days, constantly, which is like, even within their house, there's cameras placed. And then they have these private investigators who I'm going to show you a clip later of these guys who take their job way too seriously for what they're doing.
God.
Basically, then the two, Kate and Daryl, think that they're not being surveyed anymore, and they're being brought by taxi to a nice cafe. And I don't know what they think is going to happen, but I think they think like, oh, there might be some chat with a producer or so, like that's what I imagine they think is going to happen. But actually what's going to happen is they're brought to a cafe that's not really a cafe, Conor. The wall, it's full of actors pretending to be in a cafe, and the wall falls back, and then Anna comes out and shoots them.
Why such theatrics? Like, just like help me get on this stupid diet or whatever you're trying to do. Like,
but again, why such theatrics? And I'm like, for such a serious issue. Like, as in, like,
but
anyway.
The people who I've seen, at least in that clip that you showed me, they just seem like such normal people, like that aren't like there to be like, oh, I'm so crazy with how much I eat. They're just like, seem very down to earth, kind of like, you know, people who want some maybe answers about like, you know, their weight or whatever.
And they want some help.
And they don't need all this.
But you know what I mean? Like, imagine someone
nonsense.
coming to you, it's like, I'd like some help. And you're like, but you know what we're going to do? We're going to pretend we really want to help you, but actually make a fucking show of you.
Yeah.
And then help you.
Yeah.
And I just think...
And maybe help you.
Like. Oh, well, and Conor, like, this is exactly it. Because as I told you, like, how complicated is the issue I just described at the beginning to then what they're trying to do here to make entertainment. Right?
I mean, it's particularly, like, reminiscent of the era of, like, hoarding TV shows where it's like, you know, clearly this person is hoarding for whatever reason. It's usually some sort of, like, psychological issue. And we're just going to come in and give your house a big makeover. Throw that out. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. And then, you know, okay, your house is now clear, but like, see you later. Like, I can't imagine that anything has really changed, you know?
Exactly. Hi, Fad Camp listeners. Myself and Conor finally got our act together, and we have official Fad Camp merch up for sale. We are so excited. Now, my particular favourite is the enamel mug and the beanie, but we have loads of products for sale. So if you want to get any of our Fad Camp merch, please go to fadcamp.myshopify.com. That's fadcamp.myshopify.com. You'll be able to find the link to where our merch is for sale in our Instagram bio and our TikTok bio, as well as we'll have a little link in all of our episode descriptions.
Hey guys, hope you're enjoying the episode. If you want to hear more bonus exclusive content for Fad Camp, make sure to log on to Head Stuff Plus, and for as little as $5 a month, you can support our show and other shows in the Head Stuff Podcast Network and hear exclusive content from Fad Camp. That's bonus episodes, photos, videos. It's a really good time, so we hope to see you there. Now, back to the show.
Okay, well, I'm going to show you this clip. And you just maybe describe how they react after I show you the clip, okay?
This is our surveillance board. We had you watched. We had you followed.
I feel a bit sick. I just look like a big blancmange.
It's all very, very revealing. Are you ready to hear a bit more?
No, I didn't expect this to be today. I wasn't ready for this.
Well, it's all right. This is a good thing, to be honest, because today I think what we're going to do is, really show the truth of what's going on, and then we can talk about helping you move forward.
Sorry, so Conor, what did you see?
So two people sitting in a cafe, and then the walls magically open to reveal the secret eating incident room. It looks like a lab. It's all white, and there's two big pictures of the two participants on the show, and then there's like these tables with like a snapshot or like the physical food of like that they have eaten, that they've each eaten over the week. And that always grosses me out, like whenever you see like all of the food like all together, and it's designed to be like that.
And by the way, it's not all of the food. She said the snapshot.
Exactly.
And I'm like, God, you picked all the bad, or quote unquote bad foods they picked. Wonder why you didn't put the fucking salads out they might have eaten.
All of it down and be like, this is kind of like, an honest representation of your week, But and then the people, of course, are like, they say that they weren't expecting it. They thought it was going to be in a different day. And then they see images of them being surveilled while while they're just eating, not while they're doing anything like dodgy. They're just eating.
By the way, the pictures, of them eating, again,
unflattering photos,
like as well, them sitting on a couch. Can I just this is one thing I noticed actually. There's so many the videos of they're in quite like deep couches, which by the way no one looks. If you've ever posed for a picture and you're caught posing on a couch, you're like, oh my God, you better sit up straight. If you look at any photo again of like any award show after party where people are sitting down on couches, you'll notice that all the actors sit on the edge and they sit up and pose because that's how you look your best, because everyone looks insane when you're sitting in a couch and you're slumped in. Of course they're slumped in because they don't know, and all the photos are taken from like angles down below, really close up. I found her face, Kate's face, when she says, I didn't expect this. I didn't think it would be this week. She looks really upset. And that actually really got to me, where I was like, she's really not reacting well. And I kind of think you can see Anna Richardson go like, I know. Oh, well, like, this is to help you. And like, this woman is truly shocked. And it's really upsetting to her. And I just was like, this isn't, like, she's really shocked. Like, was not expecting this. And when you see it, to me, he's laughing, and it's this kind of uncomfortable laugh where someone's like, ha ha ha, this is mad. And you're like, oh God, you really aren't okay with it either. And I think you can tell by Anna Richardson that like she knows that they're really upset.
And like what I would say about like the kind of undercurrent of all of this is, it's fat shaming. It's fat shaming. It's very much like, here's a big photo of you, and here's all the food, all of the fast food or whatever that you ate. Like, in somewhat, it's an unnatural setting. Clearly, it's some sort of set or whatever. But it's a public kind of thing where there's people, there's strangers around. It's gonna be on TV. Like, it's very confronting and very like designed to kind of elicit shame from a person.
Yeah. Well, if you thought that was shameful, let's look at Daryl's. They follow Daryl and they show him what he ate in like a few days, okay, or one particular day. And I just would love to get your opinion on what you think is going on here.
To give you some context, this roll is the size of my forearm.
After a foot-long slip-up, Daryl's food binge should be over.
Sometimes I'll have a big breakfast, but then that'll be it for the whole day.
Yep, that will be it for the day. Until 20 minutes later, we're in a supermarket. To find out what he's been up to, Daryl's colleague Lee spills the beans.
So after Daryl left the burger bar, what did he do?
He sat near his breakfast bar. He had 2 sandwiches, which was cheese and tomato. He had a Jaffa cake bar and a piece of fruit cake, a big carton of orange juice, and a packet of 6 sausage rolls.
Wow, that's a lot of food. It's not even 9 o'clock yet, is it?
No, it's not now.
Oh, God.
Now,
Friend doesn't even sound comfortable. He sounds like he's reading off a list that they've given to him.
It's kind of weird. I'm like, you're very specific. But my thing is, right, as he mentions there, so at the beginning, as you don't see, right, the private investigator has bought, to undercover, has bought the same breakfast roll that he would have bought. And was like, it's the size of my arm. I don't know if you've ever seen a roll, but yeah, it is the size of your arm.
That's
what the fuck are you
normal
talking about?
size.
If someone gave me less than that as a roll I've bought, that's insane.
That's how they're sold.
I know, like, it's almost roll size.
If it was the size of your entire arm, then
like upper and lower?
Then you'd be like, okay, well, that's
that
quite a
is
roll.
big. Yeah,
quite a roll you have there.
It's from your elbow to your hand.
It's the average size of a roll. What a monster he is.
But then he does go in and and what they do then is they play back what he said earlier in an interview that I'm sure he was never prompted or kind of edited in any bad way to be like, like sometimes I'll have a big breakfast and mightn't eat anything else. And he does. He eats a lot. My big thing is they show him eating in his van alone.
Yeah.
There is something like, this man has eaten a lot by 9 a.m. I won't dispute that. There, to me, I'm like, that is quite a lot. Like, I'm wondering, like, is he eating beyond the point of comfort? Is he, you know what I mean? Can he, or as genuinely does he not feel like, you know, maybe that's what he's eating?
I need to interject and say that, like, they show him in his work overalls. He looks like he's like a construction worker or something like that.
Yeah.
Has some sort of very physical job. Like, I mean, when you get up at like 6 or 7 a.m. to go out and do your work, then by around 9 or 10 a.m., like, it's normal to feel like hungry again. If you're out in the cold and you're working your ass off, like, you know.
Do you know what? I didn't even consider that.
But
I didn't, because I've always worked kind of office hours. So to me, I'm like, oh yeah, actually, I'd only probably be eating it like whatever. But you're so right. A lot of people who work in like construction or because he's wearing a high vis, he's you know, he's in a white van. Like, these guys tend to be up quite early. That's so true. Mm-hmm. We don't know the context. Yeah. But also, like, for me, I'm like, if he is trying to hide that eating as well, like, I mean, it just, to me, is like, this is more serious than what we're taught. Like, and then his mate being like, yeah, he's eating all of this. And I'm like, also, that could just be a morning where he is just fucking more hungry. Mm-hmm. Again, they're like, he said that he only just this. Yeah, but like, I could say that I eat like Weetabix for breakfast. But does that mean the weekends?
Yeah.
But does that mean actually sometimes I've run out of Weetabix, what else do I eat? Or, you know.
Also, I would say that the amount of food that he ate, like, or the fact that he ate at this time, you know, if he wasn't a heavy person, like if he was like a naturally thin person and had like a long day like that, like say working out in the cold or whatever, and at 9 a.m. being like, fuck it, I think I just need a little breakfast roll and a drink or something and a treat, you wouldn't bat an eyelid.
Oh, do you know what? If anything, you'd be like, God, you're so lucky.
Jeez, fair play to you. Jeez,
and
then you'll probably go off and have a big carvery for lunch, won't you?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but if you're heavy, then it's like, oh my God, well, of course that's why you're fat.
Look at you.
Of course that's why you're fat.
Absolutely. And well, here comes the dietitian. And let's hear what Lynn has to say about all this. I love when you know what I always love as well? She shows up in a white lab coat because I'm always like,
amazing.
I've never met a dietitian who's worked in a lab.
That big boy breakfast baguette contained around 1,600 calories. So just in that one sandwich, you had 2/3 of what you should be eating in the whole day. Before 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I won't be doing that again.
Is that a shock?
Yeah, it is.
Well, by the time you had lunch, Daryl, you'd got through around 4,000 calories.
That'll take a lot of burning off.
Yeah, exactly.
Daryl has all the hallmarks of a dashboard diner. A person who constantly grabs food on the go. If this sounds like you, here are a few tips. Plan your meals in advance. Carry around fruit and nuts to avoid unhealthy snacking. And opt for high-fibre foods like porridge for breakfast, which will help you feel fuller for longer.
That's their big advice.
Bad advice.
Kind of gonna say dashboard diner.
Yeah.
Like, as in, like, again, this is just all made up. This seems a bit like, to me, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, someone who might have some binge eating, who might just be like like my thing about the like, because that's also me like diagnosed. I don't know what this man's life is, so I can't actually say that really. But my thing about the dietitian, not once did I ask, like, were you actually really that hungry?
Yeah.
Like, what was going on that day?
Yeah.
And were you really, really hungry?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Because actually, I'd love to know if that man is eating past the point
Exactly.
of like, because some people, much like when people starve themselves, when people, there are people who will eat past the point of discomfort.
Oh, yeah.
That is a much bigger issue, a much more deep-seated issue. Like people who starve themselves and like they like the whatever feeling of being hungry. Like, to me, I'm like, actually the question here, like, so what was going on that day? And actually, were you actually just like, I was actually starving and I really wanted that food.
Yeah.
Grand.
Yeah.
We can work with that. But this whole thing of like, that's how many calories you had? That's so many, can you believe it? Like, for me, I'm like, well, were you starving? Because like, what was going on?
Yeah.
Or it's just like this whole thing of like, remember this fat person lied and said they have one big thing for breakfast and blah, blah. It's like this whole thing of like, isn't he so stupid he didn't even know he had that many calories?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's hard. Like, I mean, I find, because I relate to a lot. Like, I have definitely found myself in that, quote unquote dashboard diner life.
Oh my God. Even that dashboard diner, it's so fucking made up. Like,
yeah. But like, I don't know, because I think if you said to him, like, were you even that hungry? He goes, well, I was a little bit hungry, but I probably ate like 3 times as much as I needed or whatever. Like, what's the solution to that? Like, what is, bring fruit and nuts. It's like you're sitting there, it's a cold day, you've been working your ass off, a sad apple and a bag of mixed nuts. It doesn't do what you're wanting it to do in that moment,
I suppose it's like that thing of like, what are you looking for from your food? And sometimes some of us are looking for comfort because actually we might have as you say, like this guy might, like anyone who's like ever worked outdoors or worked in a sort of thing where you're constantly in traffic, constantly moving around, that can be really exhausting. Like I find sometimes, and I mind this is going totally off topic, but around Christmas, because I'm back in Dublin, I drive a lot everywhere to see people because I'm a really good person. But I find sometimes I'll feel like I've done a massive walk and I haven't walked at all that day, but I've just driven. And because it's sometimes mentally draining to be constantly on the move, but you're not actually moving that much, which is the funny thing. But I'll be starving. Yeah. So I'm always like, that is also something that needs to be looked at. This man is obviously working in what we can say quite a physical job, but also probably stuck in traffic a lot, probably in a van, probably does get a bit bored, probably does want to do a bit of grazing. Yeah. What's the problem here? And actually you're saying to him, like, just have a shitty apple and not just talking to him about it. Talking about his lifestyle, like, which it is, this is his life. How are you working with this man's life?
I know.
And by the way, this guy is about to have his first child.
Wow. Yeah.
And their advice is, your dashboard diner.
Don't eat that big boy breakfast roll. Like, come on.
Let the man have a big boy breakfast roll.
Have porridge for breakfast, feel full. You could talk to 9 out of 10 people and they would say, I eat porridge, and then an hour later, I'm starving.
Because guess what? People are all different. Yeah. And also, like, this man might just need a bit more than other men on the average thing, because we've spoken about this average thing that's taken from what I can tell, from the fucking out of the air sometimes. But like, yeah, it is. It's just that thing. You're so right. Like, some people are like, oh, I have 2 Weetabix. When I have 2 Weetabix, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty grand for like a few hours. Then other people are like to me, oh, I love 3 Weetabix. 2's nothing. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you're a piece of shit and I'm better, or that I'm wrong. Like, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it is just whatever, we're different. Yeah. I want to show you this one thing because I thought was very funny about the these undercover private investigators. Basically, they follow Kate for a day. Now, I'm not going to show you Kate's whole day because I actually, again, find her story kind of more upsetting than I do find Daryl's. Maybe it's just her reaction is a bit more authentic than his, or just not authentic. His reaction is like him laughing it off.
I do see discomfort.
For sure.
When I see his reaction, I don't know if I said that, but like I did sense that kind of embarrassed, like, oh wow, and they brought his friend in to kind of, and like I said, you could tell the friend has been coached to give some kind of response. The friend is not. The friend is literally reading a list of food, and then the investigator is like, oh, that sounds like a lot for 9 Embleton. He's like, yeah, it does. It's like,
I know, it's this whole thing. And they, by the way, meet another friend, I think, behind like, when I say like in a near a construction site, and he comes in with a camera and he's like, he had a big carton of orange juice, and you're like,
wow,
a big
lock
carton
this
of
man
orange?
up. You know?
I mean, like, there's criminals to find out there, man. Here is Kate goes out to get a hot chocolate, and here is the delight of the private investigator when he shows the hot chocolate, okay?
So this is what Kate just had. It's a medium hot chocolate, loads of cream on top.
Whoa.
It's the loads of cream on top.
My
like,
God,
you know,
come
when you
on.
like sound like such a little bitch.
Yeah. It's like you're reaching here.
You are so reaching.
And how is this secret eating? Like, this is just someone...
By the way, she's out with her friend. Like, she's out with friends having a hot chocolate. And you're like, here she is, loads of cream.
Show me somebody eating an entire stick of butter, like, in the shower. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I expect from a show like this. Do you know what I mean? Like
you know,
I think you've got a problem, you know?
I just want to say, I don't know if I've ever said this in public.
Oh,
when I was a kid, I used to, because again, I found, because I was a big kid, again, it was always said to me about my weight and about what I was eating, and so I would do a lot of secret eating.
Yeah.
And particularly if my parents weren't in the room, I'd run to get something. And like, this isn't even on my parents. It was just because, again, they were 80s and 90s parents who were told that like having a fat child was the worst thing you could have. And like, you know, they were just like, oh, we're trying to help you, you know. So I would, this is actually so gross. I love cream.
Okay.
And I would drink cream out of the carton.
Amazing.
So I'd open the fridge, like do a shot of cream. I do a shot,
What
like
type
I'm
of
at a
cream?
bar.
Not like whipped cream in
No,
a can.
like pouring cream.
That hasn't been whisked
No.
or anything like that yet. Amazing.
I do a little shot of cream.
Amazing.
Close it up, run into the sitting room.
Love it. The perfect crime.
My mom must have been like, what is happening with the cream?
That is a moment in my vision of the Secret Eater show where you're like, do you know what your child gets up to every time you're watching EastEnders? It's like, no, it's like just black and white, grainy CCTV footage of Grace just doing shots of cream. Oh. Like,
it's like I'm it's like I'm filled with energy. So okay, so they show Kate's day. Kate basically has this lovely day out. I don't think she thinks at this stage that she's still under surveillance, right? Like, she had been under surveillance for 5 days, from what I can tell has happened. And she goes out on a shopping day with her family. She gets a hot chocolate in the morning. They get I think a Burger King or something, and she gets chips and a burger. And then that night they go out for what you call a buffet.
Okay.
They follow her all around, obviously getting the worst footage you've ever gotten of anyone. This is her reaction to seeing.
Now, obviously, you're not feeling good watching that.
Yeah, my back is killing me because my muscles are so tense.
Were you aware of how many calories you were taking in?
Yes and no. Looking at it now, I suppose I'm more aware. In honesty, that was me at probably one of my worst points, because I'd had enough of the cameras in my house and I was really sad and I was really down and I just wanted people to leave me alone.
But it's interesting, though, isn't it? When you feel upset, boy, do you go for it with the food, don't you? And I guess we're just trying to show what is going on and how many calories you're taking in.
Like, I'm sorry, but that whole thing of her being like, boy, when you're down, you really go for it, don't you? What? Fuck off!
I was like, oh, she's having a nice response. No, she just.
But that's what I mean. Like,
took a sharp left turn.
Because I think fair play to Kate, because I think her reaction is really honest.
I was gonna say her reaction is very real. Did you know how many calories you were taking? Yes and no. It's like you are aware. You're not a fucking idiot.
We all have days, by the way, where we're like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it today. I don't care what I'm eating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm having it. And you know, as she said, I was actually quite low. The cameras have been following me around 5 days. Can you imagine, guys? You've signed up for this show, fine. You mightn't fully know what the show's going on. It's quite intense for 5 days. You're really aware of what you're eating. You know there's cameras on you.
They're trying to catch you out.
They're trying to catch you out. You think, finally I have a day off. Do you know what? I'm just going to be with my family, eat what I want. I was feeling really sad. This will be it. And then this person shows up and goes, God, you really go for it when you're sad, don't you? Excuse me? Oh, that was the bit where I was like... And the thing is, that's what I have a problem with this, is that the dietitian and the presenter here, and I'm not saying, by the way, I'm sure there's producers in their ear. I'm not saying that this is down to these people, but it's this pretense of, and we're just trying to help.
I know.
Well, I'd be very judgmental.
Yeah.
Do you think this is helping someone?
It just
like,
seemed
really?
like there was going to be a moment of empathy. Wow.
Yeah.
When it looks like when you're feeling really down, insert something more helpful or understanding.
Do you really go for
then
it?
you really go for it. Like,
but that's what I mean.
This girl is on fire. That's the music that starts playing.
But that's what I mean about it's this faux sort of empathy that I'm like, and I'm not saying that like Anna Richardson or the dietitian don't feel for this woman and don't empathise with her, but it's this real sort of like, oh, we do feel for you. But anyway, here's every single footage of you. And oh my God, you said that you didn't do this, but look, you do it. And then the voiceover, because I'm like, the voiceover comes after. We know this, which means you're watching footage of things you've said to person in real time, and then you're doing a funny little voiceover over it, making them look more the fool. And that's also the producers, anyone who's been in contact with these people. I think as well, by the way, again, I will say, am I any better? At the time I was watching it, lapping it up.
Absolutely.
I was lapping this show up. I was totally watching it.
Yeah. You'd be
You know what I
sitting
mean?
there going, why is she getting Burger King? The camera's around and what does she think? Like, come on. Like, obviously.
That's happening.
Yeah.
And again, this is just where we've come from. And I think I found it totally acceptable.
Yeah.
And the way this woman was spoken to, I wouldn't have blinked an eyelid. I probably would have said it myself. Like, I'm not saying I'm any better. I'm just trying to critique what we did and how we made fat people look.
But also, I think like, you know, I think there's, and this is something that I'm exploring in another episode that I'm planning on doing with us. Like, it's like there's so much of blaming the fat person and not kind of blaming the environment or the society. Like you just take the foot-long breakfast roll that has 1,600 calories in it. Like he didn't invent the fucking foot-long breakfast roll. You know, we live in a world where like, you know, down the road, Subway, foot-long roll, you know, probably
Which,
got
by
like,
the way, cheaper,
filling,
much cheaper than a lot of stuff.
Marketed like crazy at you, like, and that's not to say, you know, to like, you know, because we also have like, there's a narrative around, oh, well, we don't want to make some foods seem, you know, technically bad and some,
good,
you know, and all that. But like, if we're in a world where you're tracking calories and that's the problem, don't be like, because there's thin people out there eating a foot-long roll and it's not, they're not being crucified for it.
I always have this example of a friend of mine who, when we were in college, every day he got a double chocolate muffin and a bottle of Coke for breakfast.
Amazing.
Thin guy, no one ever batted an eyelid. I'm going to tell you right now, if I did the same thing.
Oh, well, sure.
When I was in college, absolutely it'd be commented on.
Yeah.
I barely ate around people in college. Why? Because I wanted to be seen as the good fat person.
Yeah.
The fat person's like, oh, I'm not really eating. Like, I'm just kind of dieting.
Yeah.
And blah, blah. It is, like, as that woman said, it is exhausting. That surveillance that she was under, that's the surveillance all fat people are under all the time.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
And then you know what you do when when no one's looking at you, you go, oh, I can finally just relax and eat all the things that I've been thinking about for ages. Yeah. And that's where that kind of potential cycle comes from. It is not fat people that are the problem ever.
No.
It is the society we live in that is the problem.
And because we're under that, like, I think that's, you perfectly said that's the surveillance that fat people are under from society and from ourselves.
Oh, for sure.
And when we feel like the, you know, quote unquote cameras aren't looking, we'll overindulge or binge or secret eat or whatever, and like instead of having a double chocolate muffin and Coke for breakfast with our friend at college, we eat a whole packet of muffins by ourselves and feel sick and feel horrible, and you know, like
the self-hatred is unbelievable. And I will say as well, I don't know if that's even just for fat people. I would imagine a lot of people who might be in the fitness industry, who might be even in any industry where like their body is part of the product they sell, which I hate to put, but you know what I mean, it's part of your industry. I'd say they have the exact same feeling, because you can imagine if you are a dietitian, even if you're a like personal trainer, if you're whatever, you, I'm sure, are like, I can't be seen eating this in public, and actually I'm going to do it in secret. Secret eating is not just for fat people. I think a lot more people do it than we realise. And some of it is like secret eating where you just want some alone time, grand. But I think this sort of secret eating is probably a lot more prevalent than we realise, and then is part of our own cycles. They basically as well then just call her they're emotional eater. They basically call Kate an emotional eater, and they have two things. Like, here's our little tips for the emotional eaters.
Oh, no.
And it's basically like essentially, I think it's something like, you know, meal prep and write a food diary. I'm like, that's
every diet in the world.
That's what I mean. They're like, we're here to help you. Their help is something that you could literally pick up on a pamphlet.
Yeah.
You've put these people through torture for what? To help them, and your help is any help they can get anywhere else.
Oh my God.
So that's kind of the end of the show. I know that like
Sorry, but on this show, is there an element of now we follow them for a week on a new diet?
Sure.
Or
Basically, they follow them. They don't show the diet that they give them. I'm imagining it's a low-calorie diet if they're so obsessed with the calories in this show. And at the end they'll weigh themselves and be like, I lost this much weight and I lost this weight. No, they're following them up, I'm pretty sure a month later, it's something like that. I was trying to look up where they are now. There was a bit of a thing of like in 2013, people were like, some of them of the where they are now were like, she's still doing great and she's looking fantastic. Blah, blah. But again, that's 2013, a year after maybe the filming.
Yeah.
I haven't read anything further, and like I'm not going to assume where these people are now or how they're doing. I hope they're doing great. I hope. Listen, if this in any way helped them, brilliant.
Yeah.
But from watching it, I'm like, I don't know. I think this, for me, I see a lot of like trauma happening here. Like I see a lot of like public humiliation. I don't love what I'm seeing, and it's not the people. It's not the people and their eating habits. It's the way this has been designed to make them look. There was a great review of this show from The Guardian, and it just basically says like it kind of. I'll put it in the show notes. I'm not going to read it out, but it's like it kind of says what I've been saying about the theme of this show, which is like, almost like trying to be warm and affable to these people and make it seem like we're trying to help, but actually then the voiceovers and the lighting and the pictures kind of make them out to be a fool.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Fad Camp. As always, we want to thank our producer Darren Lee. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to review us on iTunes, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Great ratings and reviews really help more people find the show, and it would mean a lot to us.
Make sure to share the episodes with friends and family or on your social media. Every listen helps.
And we absolutely love hearing from our listeners, so please get in touch with any of your diet stories on fadcamppodcast@gmail.com.
This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with Head Stuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.